Are you all ready to rock and roll and an ODT from T-Boy? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm frozen. I've been out this morning in St Anne's. I've been on my first video mission of 2021, and I've got cold right through to middle, frozen. So I'm still trying to warm up. I'm slowly thawing. So, have you had a nice Christmas? I've had a lovely Christmas. I've been doing as little as possible for as long as possible. We did a little bit of housework. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? We did our New Year treat. Are you ready? We pulled SETI out and went underneath it. I mean, did anybody else have such an exciting Christmas holiday? I'm laughing because in Share Rabbit we have two corner settees. So we've got one at one side of the living room and one at the other side of the living room, and my mum and my dad sit on one and me and Kevin sit on the other. So over Christmas I've been dremeling away. I've had my full woodworking kit sat on my knee over the Christmas holidays. So on my side of the settee there was a fair assortment of sawdust. In fact, one day I was sanding. Let's not say this too loud, because if my mum hears me, she'll skin me. I was sanding a piece of wood and there was this like cloud. So that if she sees me, she'll kill me. Yeah, so on when we pulled our settee out, it was surprisingly clean and tidy. Actually, it was very little underneath it, other than a couple of little like crystal charm things that I'd dropped. So on my mum's side of the settee, when she pulled that out, they were a cascade of dog trees, because they kind of go down the crack between where the two settees joined together. So we made the Hoover rattle. So anyway, over Christmas I've been with my woodworking kit. I've been woodworking. I've had Kevin chopping bits of wood down and doing and whatnot. And this is oh, that's a bit bright, isn't it? This is Valentine's houses. There you go. You see, we've got the flowers in the garden, and these are the charms that I dropped and that went under the settee. So you see, I have to sand on my little bits of wood and cut them down with my Dremel and whatnot. So that's what I've been doing over my Christmas holidays. So I've been a busy little bee. So what have you been doing then? What have you been doing over your holiday? Because obviously we're not allowed to go out. We're not allowed to go anywhere. Everything's shut, so there's no sales shopping. There's none of that malarkey this year. So we've all been incarcerated on our settees, haven't we? So we've still got our Christmas stuff up, and my mum reckons it's supposed to come down tomorrow. I thought it might have been today. What do you think? Do you think it should have been? Been studying Renaissance ornamentation. Eric's been studying Renaissance ornamentation on manuscripts. And I did say, didn't I, that if anybody wanted to shout out, that you got to email me before 1:30. So I'm just gonna have a quick. I'll just have a quick look. It's not working. My computer's not working. Oh, it's stuck. It's frozen. I did say if anybody wanted an email reading out, that they've got to a shout out that they've got to email me before 1:30, but it would appear that it's froze. And I literally came back in at 12 o'clock, warmed my lunch up and bolted that down while shivering at the same time, and then I've come straight upstairs, sorted a problem out that somebody had left a message for me. So I haven't even had a chance to look and see whether you've sent any emails. That's really bad, isn't it? That's really bad. You'll have to sack me. I'm just wondering why that's not working. I can see your comments, Eric. I'm doing this broadcast on my phone. But I did say if you wanted a shout out to email me, and I can't seem to get into emails. It's not working. And I don't know why. It's all frozen. Turn it off. Turn it off and turn it back on again. That usually does the trick, doesn't it? P45. Who's gonna sack me though when I'm the boss? I don't think there is anybody to sack me. So, what have you watched on the telly over Christmas? We've watched the soaps. Cat Loves My Mobile. That came from a shop on Falmouth High Street, probably 25 years ago. Really? It's very old. It's elderly. The rabbits, the little bunny rabbits, and I've moved my cactus as well, which you can just see there. Yes, so we watched lots of things that we'd recorded. So we've had a very eclectic Christmas viewing. We've done any kind of medical program that you can find. We've done sort of 999 What's Your Emergency, hospitals, ambulances, coronavirus, any kind of surgery that you can find. We've watched, now what did we watch? Oh, we watched crocodiles. Yeah. We watched crocodiles and how they're dangerous, and one thing we learnt from that was don't get too near a crocodile or an alligator. So remember, if you see one on Blackpool Beach, you can't get too near because it'll eat you. What else have we watched? We've watched all kinds of stuff, really random weird things and soaps. So me and our Chrissy, I think we're getting Kevin a bit into soaps. Me and our Chrissy have been watching soaps, so we've enjoyed all the Christmas catastrophes. Yes, so Coronation Street's been entertaining. Aye, here he comes. Aldo says, I can be the boss when you say I can be the boss, Kevin.
That's right.
If you believe that, you believe anything.
I'm in charge because she says I can be.
Oliver, yes, I've not seen that for a few years now, but it is a nice film, that. It is a nice one. I don't think we've actually watched any films. Yeah, so Coronation Street was quite entertaining and funny in its normal, usual way. EastEnders was interesting, but miserable as ever, because it's always miserable EastEnders, isn't it? So what did Father Christmas bring you this year? Shall I show you what Father Christmas brought me? Are you ready? Are you ready? Father Christmas brought me some Lego.
Oh.
There you go. It's a road sweeper, and his little things turn. Look, there you go. And it's got garbage in the back. Now I can't open this without I've got something underneath it because it's full of garbage. Are you ready? Live demonstration. If it's not gonna, hold on, let me prop it and then it'll not fly. Are you ready? So open the back and all his garbage falls out.
Don't take much.
I'm easily entertained, aren't I? So I think after rather a very long time of not playing with my
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to you, boy. Go get kettle on. Of not playing with my Lego. I think my Lego might be coming back out of the cupboard because I really liked Lego when I was young. So the garbage in the back of the garbage truck is all the bits of spare Lego that I'd got, little bits that have come on the little men, apart from the banana that came with the garbage truck, because that goes in the bucket. What about that then? Isn't that nice? Isn't that cute? You're never too old. And speaking of vintage Lego, my dad gave me some bits that he'd got on his shelf of road signs and things that had come adrift from the box, with these two little Lego people, which I reckon are the very first Lego people that Lego first brought out. And if you look, they've not got any arms. They're just all cast in one piece. And today's little Lego people have got proper articulated little arms, like this one will, like that. And you can move them and do. So there you go. Little fascinating known fact. So I thought we perhaps ought to look that up and see whether or not they're worth any money. Not that I'm going to be selling them. So I think I've told T-Boy I want him to have a look in the cupboard at the back of his desk and see if he can find me Lego. Never too old. Never too old. So that's what Father Christmas brought me. What else was I going to say to you? And this morning I've been to St. Oh, hello, Keith. I've been to St. Anne's with Keith. Did you get the demonstration of the Lego lorry? I've been to St. Anne's with Keith. Keith had got an appointment, so I dropped him off, and I went on a walking tour of Ansdell. So during the course of this week, I've got a couple of videos to upload for you, and I tell you what, it was absolutely freezing. It was really, really cold, and when I got out of the car it was 3 degrees, and when I got back in it was 4, so you can tell how cold it must have been. So in the course of this fortnight, when I was supposed to be on holiday, what I've actually been doing is organising myself. Now my organisation abilities are legendary. Oh, somebody says that they watched The Crown. I did wear my hat, Eric. They watched The Crown on Netflix. Now I've seen people talking about that, and I kind of get the impression it's quite worth watching. So I might have to visit that one. So I've been organising myself, and these are some of the subjects which I intend to cover during the course of this year. So there's plenty there for us to have a go at. So I've got everything from seaside donkeys to pirate graves, lifeboats, fishing, ancient sea defences, parks, sand dunes, the lot. So I'm getting myself nice and organised.
I really don't feel worthy.
Oh, Deputy T-Boy. Thank you,
T.
Deputy. Deputy dog. So I'm getting myself organised. Aren't my organisational abilities legendary, Kevin?
Yes.
Just say yes.
Yes.
Yes, ancient sea defences. They're called ramps. So that you'll have to watch out for that one. So that's an interesting subject for another day. So I've been organising what we're going to cover and what we're going to do. So I am going to tackle it in order of easiness. So the things that don't require other people or access to anywhere or any contact with germs, I should be doing now. And then the things that require people and places and talking to folk, I shall do later, when we hopefully finally, fingers crossed, get to the end of the coronavirus caper. Because frankly, it feels at the moment like it's going to go on for forever and ever and ever, amen, doesn't it? So I'm sure that we will all be equally glad when we get to the end of it and we can say, thank goodness for that. In fact, I only said to Keith this morning, when those things come up on your Facebook timeline, of your memories and things, I mean, mine's been, oh yes, I remember, thanks for that reminder, Eric. I forgot what I want to say. What was I saying? Yeah, Facebook. When your things come up on your reminder and it says 3 years ago you were doing this and 4 years ago you were doing that, my timeline in December is being full of all the parties and things that normally our batty group got to. And I've just said to Keith this morning that me and my mum keep saying, can you remember when we used to go for Christmas dinners? And can you remember when we used to go in a pub? Can you remember when we used to go shopping? Can you remember when we used to go outside the front door even? I don't know. It's enough to drive you mad, isn't it? Eric's just reminded me that currently I'm using a bit of a cart and horse microphone system because I'm inside at the moment. I'm using my normal microphone on my phone, but I'm just unhooking this to show you. Hold on, no I'm not, I'm talking rubbish, excuse me. I've got, you'll not be able to see it, I've got a microphone clipped to my tripod, and it's a bit of a Heath Robinson mechanism, and I've been having a lot of trouble with wind. We have a lot of trouble with wind here at the seaside. So I've been through everything that you can possibly think of. Anyway, I need to order some proper microphones that will enable me to be able to do interviews with people so that I can actually talk to them. So I don't know whether you've seen any of the interviews I've done with Brett Davison from Radio Lancashire. I went out on a day that was absolutely blowing a gale with a metal ruler with a microphone clipped to the end of it, and I was doing that and holding it backwards and forwards so that I could try and interview him, so that I could actually pick some of the sound up. So we were both falling about laughing. It's a good job I know him well. And I used a metal ruler because that was the only thing that I thought might not bend, because we use these for cutting. And what goes with that is, are you ready? Are you ready? A surgeon's scalpel. So you can understand why you need the metal ruler, because otherwise if you use a plastic one you end up chopping a chunk out of your ruler when you're coming down. And as my dad said to me, you know that you're a proper designer when you've cut your finger. So what you do, you see, is you're holding your ruler like that on your paper and you start cutting, and your finger's stuck out over the edge of your ruler and you chop straight into your finger. You don't do it twice. It is, yeah. So anyway, going back to the wind. So I've set up what's called a Ko-fi account, and it's for people who like the stuff that comes out on our channel. If you enjoy it and you would like it to continue, then please, by all means, feel free to buy us a coffee. I don't mean a coffee like that. This is actually tea, so that's a bit of a cheat. I don't mean a coffee in a cup. I mean a donation towards our running expenses, because get the violin out, we don't get any money from anybody, from the council or anything like that. So we have to survive off things like advertising and donations and all that kind of stuff. So the current campaign is to raise enough money for microphones for 2 people, and then we can go out and do interviews without having to show ourselves up with the metal ruler everywhere that we go. So well reminded that, Eric, well reminded for telling me. Now then, I'm going to show you something else. You've probably gathered that I've not actually managed to tidy up. All you can see is the top bits and everything, all the junk's out of eye level. And as you've gathered, our office is a treasure trove of things. And I'm going to show you this that I found. How many coffees per microphone? Well, they're expensive. Let me get my calculator. I can't add up that many. 53 coffees we need to buy a pair of microphones. So there you go. Yeah, so my office is a treasure trove of all kinds of different junk, and I can tell you where all of it is. And here's something I found earlier, as they say on Blue Peter, and I'm going to put this on my, this is today's post I'm using as a desk. Are you ready? I believe that is a sea bean. I don't know whether you can see it properly. Can you see it clearly? And I think, oh God, it's gone. Just a minute, let me retrieve it. Well, you heard then how light it is. It's the bang. It just sort of bounced. Let me do that, then you can see it against that background. Yeah, exactly. And this is the first one that I have ever found. And I thought at first it might be a conker when I picked it up. And then when I brought it back, I looked at it closely and carefully, and I've come to the conclusion after some research it's definitely a sea bean. Ooh, it's alive as well. And now these little things are really light, and they are the pods of various different types of sort of tropical plants, and they come from right at the other side of the world, from the Caribbean and places like that. And that is the first one that I have ever found, so I'm really pleased with that. So put that on my shelf of treasures with my bits and bobs. Is it a gold seal squidgy black ash? No, I don't think it's anything exotic like that that might be worth any money and make you go a bit like that if you smoked it. It's a seed, like a conker. T-boy?
Yeah?
Everybody's looking at your bum.
No, it's alright, don't worry. Don't worry. It's not the first appearance.
Nescafe coconut latte. So there you go. So I was absolutely tickle pink. Bro, T-boy's going in the cupboard for a picture frame to make an order up. Oh, speaking of T-boy, I think I'm starting to warm up finally. I'll just take my cardigan off. We are doing yeah, exactly. We are doing a picture of the pleasure beach. When I say we, I take no responsibility for it whatsoever. I mean him, obviously. So he's been collecting his information, and he's been and got his pictures, and he's been and organised what he thinks he might be doing. So watch this space. There might be a nice picture of the pleasure beach coming. And just got my computer back on, and I'm going to have a look, see if anybody's asked for any shout outs. So if you just wait a minute, I'll shout them out. So meanwhile, if you didn't put any, yes, it is the 125th anniversary Sunday this year. And oh goodness me, it's gone off while I've been out, and there's something really weird happening. So if you want to shout out, put them on the screen. all being well, with fingers crossed and a following wind, this picture might be an exclusive on sale at the Pleasure Beach. So I'll keep you posted. It's all very exciting. The ogre needs a shout out. I should think the ogre's feeling pretty freezing today, to be honest. Yes, and you can get an inscription break for the 125 years. Samantha Matthews needs a shout out because she needs cheering up. We all need cheering up today. So if you want a shout out, just type it on and I'll do my best. Andy's just finished work. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Andy. What was I going to say then? Hey? I've gone again. Yeah. Get well soon, Samantha. David says. Oh, Samantha. Oh, Steve.
I don't know, but she's not very well.
You'll not get that because you don't know yet, but I'll tell you. We had a lovely friend called Val. Brenda at this point will be so exactly he'll be laughing her socks off on a settee. We had this lovely friend called Val, and she was the most blunt, abrupt woman that you could ever wish to meet, with a heart as big as a bucket.
But lovely.
Samantha. Oh, hello, Samantha. Hi, Samantha. She was lovely. Shout out to Eric. Yes, definitely. Always a shout out to Eric. And this particular occasion, she always had this thing of rhyming off all her relatives to you as if you knew them. You know, you sat around Christmas table and you knew every one of them. No idea who any of them were. And she'd rhymed this story off one day, and I'd said to her, "Oh, Steve," and about 10 minutes later she just went, "Oh, Steve," just like that. Well, we all fell about laughing, and ever since then it's gone down in our kind of collective local history. So when we all start saying oh so and so and oh so and so, because in this house honestly it's like bedlam, there'll be there's 4 of us, there's 4 conversations going off at once, and 4 different people talking about 4 different things. So one will say oh so and so, and somebody else will say 3 pounds of fish, and somebody else will say carrot, and this is all kind of crossing itself all at 10 miles an hour. And then all at once somebody will say, "Oh, Steve." Well, we all just corpse laughing. It's just really funny. It was just so funny. She was just so funny with Val. She were. So there you go. Cheers, Val, if you're listening. I think she's the one who keeps shifting stuff in our house because we keep finding things in all wrong places, and things keep going missing. And our other friend Jim has got a penchant, who is departed, has got a penchant for turning electrical things on and off, so when lights are continually going on and off in our house. Shout out for Sedgeborough, Dent and Baybon in Cumbria. What have you done to your left hand? Last year I sprained, strained, broke, ruptured, whatever, the ligament at the sides of my hand here. And because it's a hand rather than a shoulder, you're obviously using it all the time, and I don't think it's ever really got a chance to heal up properly. So it's still sore, and because I've been out videoing, obviously I need to kind of hold my hand up like that, and I put it on to support my wrist. Because if I couldn't video, that would be tragic, wouldn't it? That would be the end of the world. The end of the world as we know it. So, any more shout outs? If anybody, I don't need a brace. I could do with a proper. In fact, I bought one of those black things that's got a thumb in it, but the thumb's tiny. It's about big enough for my little finger. And besides which, the good thing about this is I can pull it down to wash my hands, because it's not good when you've got one of them things on that you've got to keep taking off, and we've got a COVID pandemic as well, because I don't like dirty hands at the best of times. It's not nice.
Sorry about the noise, but I've got to carry on working.
Yeah, he's just trying to let us know that he's carrying on working. That's sellotape. That. So at Christmas, when he were making pictures at full throttle, every 5 seconds, sellotape, bit more sellotape. And then when we start with a big roll of sellotape. No, I don't use a gimbal. I'm using, I have actually got a gimbal, but I've never really fathomed out how to use properly, to be honest. I use a Joby Gorilla grip thing, because you can use it as my phone's on it now. You can use it as a tripod. You can fasten it to railings and things like that. You can use it as a handheld grip. And obviously, because I've got a bad wrist, there's a limit to how much weight I can carry. So
Done.
it's
Done
done. So I'm limited to the lightest I can find, which in this case is an iPhone and a tripod grip, a little one. Yeah, so going back to coffee, if anybody feels so inclined to support the fund that's going to enable me to go out terrorizing people and interviewing them and asking them really awkward questions, I'll put the link to the tripod fund. You're in stitches. Yeah, I'm well, yeah. I'll put the link to the tripod fund in the description. So if you've got the price of a coffee spare for it, I'm coughing now. Excuse me while I choke. I just caught my breath. Well, there'll be a link to the the microphones are on order, because that's been an ordeal of epic proportions as well. My friend Brett at Radio Lancashire, the one with the metal ruler, when he comes to do interviews, he brings a BBC issue kit, which is a little box that you connect 2 microphones into, and then the little box connects to your phone with a little cable like that, so that you can actually record from 2 separate microphones at once into one recording device. So there are various other gadgets that you can get. I did labour under the delusion that there's a wireless one that you can get that clips onto your thing, and you've not got sort of yards of wire. So I thought that worked in order to talk and then video somebody else, but no, it only records one person at a time, so that's no good. So it looks like being the wired one, with 2 microphones, so you're tethered to whoever it is that you're talking to, so that could be quite entertaining just in itself, couldn't it? So I've got quite a list of people that I intend to terrorise. I've already lined a few of them up ready, so that could be very, very amusing, because I know a lot of batty people. I mean, who wants to be normal? Who wants to be sensible? It's just overrated being sensible. So I think, is Kevin behind there? Is he okay? Yes, Kevin. Oh, look, he's waving. He's still alive. Kevin writes computer code, and if you've ever seen computer code, it's like Chinese hieroglyphics. In fact, it's worse than Chinese hieroglyphics. And he is doing some work on the Visit Fylde Coast websites as we speak, because it's not just a case of writing. Fiona's looking for, just digressing, Fiona's looking for nice places in Cleveland to stay. Bridine Hotel every time. It's obviously closed at the moment because everything's closed. But if you're wanting somewhere to stop, I would always recommend the Briardine.
Yep.
It's owned by a couple called Tracy and Dino. Dino's the chef. The food's delightful. The building looks a bit odd from outside. It's had a roof lift, so it's sort of tall and got a bit of a funny roof. But it's beautiful inside. It's a really, really nice place. And they're as mad as I am as well. So you'll be fine. You'll fit in really well. Yeah, Kevin. So he's writing his Chinese hieroglyphics. So it's not just a case when you're building a website like Visit Fylde Coast of me spouting and typing all the garbage that I type. We need a Kevin to sit behind the scenes and make sure that it actually works. Because believe me, there's a lot to running websites. It's very... Oh, you want to buy a house in Cleveland? Oh, absolutely. Definitely, my dear. I would always recommend that you come as near to the coast as you can, because what on earth point is there in moving to the seaside and living at the back of beyond? So you need to be in walking distance. There's loads to pick from. There's flats, there's bungalows, there's houses on the seafront. There's all kinds of stuff. There's anything that your heart could desire. So if you get stuck and you want any advice, just bob me an email and I will help you with pleasure. You'd be surprised how many people I've encouraged, shall we say. Beach up masterpieces. I'm just reading what Michael's written. Yes, that's my latest beach house. This is a Valentine special, this one. So I've made a few different ones that are all of a Valentine theme, and then when I've made them, I'm going to go on to Mother's Day, because obviously all the shops are shut. So a poor starving artist's got to earn a bit of money somewhere, haven't they? So when you perhaps saw the video I made when I went out with my bucket and my trolley, and I wambled on the beach and came back loaded in wood. So that's some of the wood that I collected. So there we go. Fed up of Nicola Sturgeon. Do you mean the grandkids? I can't look at her without thinking of what did they call her? What did they call Mrs. Cranky? What did they call Mrs. Cranky, Kevin?
I don't know.
Is she Janet or something? I don't know. Brew Boy's busy. Brew Boy's making a picture to send. So that's what Brew Boy's doing, and that's where we keep all the storage stuff. The only trouble is this office is built. It's built for dwarfs. It's
That's
built
why.
for That's why we're all walking around like that. It's built for people that are that big. Jeanette Cranky, that's it. It's built for people that big, our office, not full-size proper people. So yeah, we've all developed a stoop, and if we got £1 for every time that we cracked our head on that little door there as you go into the back cupboard, we'd be rich. Yes, so I can't think of anything else to say for today. I think I'm all out of chatter. This office, I just not. The bits that you can't see, it looks like a bomb's dropped, because there's all my stuff that I've carried on doing odds and ends of things. Do they grit the roads near the coast into the egg? The grit, we're in
You
that.
don't need it.
Yeah, well, number one, it's not as bad, but we're in that second-class citizen territory where we live. So we're on the sort of seafront road. But it's this road where I actually live is a dead end that Lancashire County Council would prefer to ignore. So the gritter comes along the main road and down the back roads and grits the roads down there. So they get grit, but we get nothing. We get ice. So, but we do get a smattering of sand anyway, which is useful. But yes, they do grit, but not us, because...
If we don't pay our rates.
Yeah, we don't pay our rates. Wouldn't that be nice if you could get away with that one? So, I think that's it for today. And we've got some... yeah, Senga's fed up of Jeanette Cranky as well, so she's going to move to... Why don't you just all move to Cleveland? Just tip Scotland into Cleveland. Did you know Kevin's Scottish? There you go, you see. He's Scottish ancestry. He's got them narrow slitty eyes like that. There you go. So, Fiona's going to do some housework. I'm going to do some work. I'm going to do some tidying up. I'm going to see if I can make my computer work, which will be a good start. I think while oh, that was what I was going to say. While we're on proper lockdown, we'll carry on doing a brew at 2 each week, because I do appreciate that a lot of you browned off to the back teeth and sat at home and nothing to do. So we'll do that. We'll do that while we're doing lockdown, but I'm not promising that it will carry on once we are released. But what I was going to say was, all you people that are watching, and the ones who watch on playback, please will you tell all your friends and family to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if I can spend my Tuesday afternoons talking to you guys. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? My dad has just said I spend my Tuesday afternoons talking garbage. Unbelievable. Yes, if I can spend my Tuesday afternoons talking garbage, I think you can ask your friends and family to subscribe to our channel, and then at some point I might even make a living. Won't that be exciting? Right, so that's it for today, folks. I call this meeting to order, and we will reconvene at the same time at the same place next week, 2 o'clock next Tuesday. Bye for now.
Bye.